Hey guys, welcome back to another match review. I feel like it's been a while since I've gone live, so I'm excited to chat with you guys and kind of get your thoughts about the match. Obviously, it's an FA Cup match, so we were very dominant as I expected, which was good. And yeah, we'll kind of just go through all of the talking points from the match, what you liked, what you didn't like, and etc. So I'll get talking and then I'll put the link to the StreamYard in maybe after I go through my thoughts, and you guys can give me your thoughts as well. Hello guys, thank you all for joining. It will be a StreamYard link, but I'll be putting it out after I give my thoughts, maybe in about 10-ish, 15 minutes. Let's see how long I can go on talking, but I will put it out. So first off, Lewis Hall was absolutely amazing. Like, what is it with Chelsea youth and just getting man of the match performances on their debuts? Like, this kid is 17 years old. I think back to when I was 17, like I could never have been capable of doing something like that. I'm 27 now and still I would be scared shitless to do that. So, maybe he's making a case for himself to start. He doesn't even play left center back regularly. That's out of position, but maybe he's making a case for him to start like a left wing back position and fill in for Marcus Alonso from time to time, because I thought that he was so good. He was kind of part of a couple of the Chelsea goals. I think 3 of them he was a part of, which was just so impressive. And every time he got on the ball, I was just like, wow. What I loved about him, especially for the Lukaku goal, is, he lost the ball. It was kind of high-ish up on the pitch, but he still ran. He won it back. He got the cross in, and then Lukaku scored. So I just loved that drive, that motivation, that mentality. Like, oh, I lost the ball, so I'm going to go and win it right back. I thought that was really impressive. And overall, in the first half, I felt that Chelsea were really dominant. I don't know about you guys, but I honestly feel like Lukaku should have scored like 3 or 4, maybe like 5 goals. I mean, I know that's greedy, but I feel like he really should have scored more than he did. I know that he got the goal, but I felt like Timo and Ziyech were putting these balls basically on a plate, and he really didn't look like, I don't know, he didn't look there. It seemed like he didn't have his shooting boots on, everything that, you would think for a striker of Lukaku's quality that should come off maybe better than it did, or should at least be a shot on target. I just wasn't really impressed with what I saw today. I didn't think it was coming off. And I think that Lukaku's probably going to be pissed about coming off at halftime. But I understand why Thomas Tuchel did that, because I didn't think that he was all that impressive in the first half, and he didn't take his chances, and he probably should have converted a couple of more. So let me know what you guys think about Lukaku in the comments, because I want to see if I'm alone on this, or if you guys also agree that Lukaku really wasn't up to the races. And against Chesterfield, who, no offense to Chesterfield at all, because they put in a great performance, especially towards the end of the game. But I mean, Lukaku should be like burying those chances. Yeah, Leslie is saying he should have at least had a hat trick. I agree. Like, and going into that should be the goal. Like, I want to score as many goals as possible, but not just one, like many goals. Andrew says, yeah, his finishing was poor tonight. Do you guys think that it's a confidence thing? Do you think that he's in his head about the whole interview thing still? I mean, if anybody was at the bridge, let me know like what the like atmosphere was like surrounding Lukaku. Like, when he went onto the pitch, did people boo him? Were they cheering him? Were they indifferent? I heard from the Spurs game that people were pretty indifferent. Like, nobody booed him, but nobody cheered him either. And it was just kind of like, well, he's there. And I think he's a name that probably would have gotten a lot of cheers previously. So if you guys happen to be at the bridge, let me know, because I really want to know what the reaction to Lukaku was. Thank you, Satish. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. Andrew says his confidence has definitely dipped a bit since the interview backlash. I mean, I understand why his confidence would dip, I guess. But it was also his choosing to do the interview. So I think that he's the one that has to be doing his talking on the pitch and kind of like compartmentalize a bit and say, hey, like I messed up in the interview and now I'm just going to go on and score a ton of goals. So maybe I'm being naive and it's not that easy to do. And he's kind of in his head about that. But I just was expecting more from him. And I really wasn't surprised about Thomas Tuchel taking him off at halftime. Like I really thought that he should have had at least 2 or 3. His hold-up play was okay in my opinion, but he had a very heavy first touch, and then the shooting was just not. It wasn't there today. It wasn't there. Newsflash, why are you scared about what the Chelsea fans are saying and who are you a fan of? Like, I'm curious. Let me know. Yes, Hall was definitely amazing. Like I said, I would have him maybe fill in at left wing back. I mean, I know he wasn't necessarily playing left wing back today, but he was playing out of position today. I think he normally plays in midfield, and he was just running up and down the pitch. It was really so impressive, and he was just so involved with Chelsea's goal, with the defense as well. I felt that he was always in really good positions, which I think is really hard to do when you're a young defender, like to kind of know where to position yourself. But I felt that he did amazing with that. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's so kind. I literally like never get super chats. So that's really, really kind of you to do. I really appreciate it. It means a lot because I'm so exhausted right now, but I really wanted to chat with you guys. So thank you so much. I honestly really appreciate it. We're just talking more about the first half. I forgot to mention this, but when the team sheet came out, was anybody else like super shocked about the team sheet? Like I, for one, thought that we would have way more youngsters playing than we actually did. I thought that Harvey Vale would definitely start, and then I also was like, what formation is this even? Because I saw like 2 defenders on the pitch. Turns out that we kind of played a back 3-ish with really, really, really high wing backs, and with Saul and Kovacic sitting deep. I thought Kovacic had a really good game, and he was at the heart of everything yet again. What a player he is. I just love how he progresses the ball, and he's really gotten so good at just like looking forward. I thought that was really good. I loved Harvey Vale's. I didn't mention this. I loved Harvey Vale's shot that he took. Not Harvey Vale, sorry. Lewis Hall's shot that he took from kind of outside the box. I thought that was going in. He looked a little bit disappointed that it wasn't going in. But then for Christensen to get that looping header, when he hit that, I was like, is that going in? Is that actually going in? Because it looks like the type of header that might just kind of dink over the crossbar. But it went in, and that was amazing as well. Yes, I was completely confused by the starting 11. Like, which formation? Is there a formation? Are we just going all out in the attack? And then Coda Photography says, I feel like Tuchel told them to reduce the fire in the second half. I don't know. I mean, once we were like 4-0 up at halftime. So at that point, it's like, all right, you obviously are like clearly already going through. You also don't want to waste so much energy going all out because you've already qualified, and we do have a lot of games coming up. They rescheduled that Brighton game to be coming in like a week and a half as well, like because that was one of the games that had to be rescheduled because of the Club World Cup. So I bet he probably said to like, hey, you already won, do what you want, try to score more goals, but kind of ease off of the gas a little bit. And I think we saw that with the changes that he made as well, that I felt that kind of the momentum was lost when he did make the changes. And then we kind of saw everything like not crumbling because, we still won. We did concede to the goal. I mean, whatever. It was a good goal for them. And I think like that memory for their fans is going to be massive. It's not every day that you get to go against like Premier League giants like at their home and score against them. So it was really sweet, I think, to see the like the support and the applause and the shouts from the Chesterfield fans, even though I wanted to keep a clean sheet. But I think we saw that the cohesion just went like down. If I had one, not complaint, but just like something that I wasn't so happy about in the game. I thought that maybe we would have seen more youngsters given a start instead of the likes of Ross Barkley. Like, I really feel that Ross Barkley is on his way out of Chelsea for a couple of reasons. I felt that he's been on his way out for a while, not like years, and he somehow still always comes back. But I mean, he isn't getting minutes while Chelsea are in this COVID injury crisis, and he's still not getting selected. I don't remember the last time that Ross Barkley has played for Chelsea. There's a reason why Thomas Tuchel hasn't been selecting him. So given all of that, and I feel that he probably is on his way out, if not in January, but at the end of the year, I would be surprised if we haven't sold him by the end of the summer. But I would have given those minutes to a youngster, because those minutes, like those 20 minutes, are going to be so much more valuable to them than they are going to be to the likes of Ross Barkley. But other than that, I really can't complain, can't criticize Tuchel too much, because he did show Chesterfield a lot of respect. I thought that the starting 11 was really strong. There were a lot more starters than I thought that there were going to be in that starting 11. And at the end of the day, we got the job done. Anderson, Elizabeth, would you say it's disappointing that Timo didn't take the penalty instead of Ziyech? I think he lacks the confidence to take one. I mean, the thing is, we don't know who the set penalty taker is, because Jorginho wasn't on the pitch. After Jorginho, I don't know who he is. I've seen Mason take some penalties, but he's been missing them. But this isn't something that I think they decide on the pitch. It's something that's decided like way beforehand, that you have a list of penalty takers. Like, if this person's on the pitch, then they're going to take the penalty. If not, then this person. And it goes in a list. So this is all something that's decided beforehand. It's not really like up to the players unless you see something like really crazy happen. So, but I was surprised that Ziyech took the penalty. And I was thinking, honestly, beforehand, I was like, is he going to score this? Because I don't remember the last time that I've seen Ziyech take a penalty, to be honest with you. And then I was seeing on Twitter that he actually missed 2 like really important penalties for Morocco. I think it was last year or the year before. And the penalty was pretty weak. I mean, if you have maybe a better goalkeeper in goal, I think that penalty gets saved, because it wasn't like to one corner of the goal. It was hit hard enough that it went past him. But I think that penalty on another day could have easily been saved. And personally, going forward, I wouldn't have Ziyech as the penalty taker, but I don't know if that's down to Timo's confidence. I think it's probably just decided ahead of time. And I haven't really seen Timo take penalties either. Like, seeing Kai take penalties, I think he looks pretty good when he's taking them. I think Pulisic probably has a good penalty in him as well. So I probably would have opted for one of those two. COD or COD Mobile says, Elizabeth, do you ever think we'll solve the striker curse? All of our strikers become lame. I mean, I wouldn't say lame, but I feel like we definitely have like this issue where we sign strikers and we expect them to be like the ones that are going to solve our striker problems. And then it hasn't worked out. Like, the last striker that I really felt like, yes, was Diego Costa, of course, who is incredible for us. And I miss him. He actually just left his team. I don't remember the name. I think it's in the Brazilian league on a free. So Diego Costa is available. And so then I remember that he played for us in 2014, which was a really long time ago. And how is 2014 so long ago? I don't know. But I was like, oh God, it's been a while since Diego Costa has played for us. But yeah, I mean, I thought Lukaku was going to be the answer. I don't know. I'm going to give him until the end of the season to kind of make a judgment and see if he's able to score goals, if he's able to come back, if he starts to pick up the relationship with the fans. Because right now, I personally feel very indifferent to him. I'm kind of just like, if he stays, he stays. I wish him the best. I hope he scores goals for us, but he's not personally one of my fan favorites after everything that's happened. My fan favorites are Aspie and Mason. Those are like my 2 favorites. I love them. Zenith Land says, who's your man of the match? Lewis Hollis. I thought that he was incredible. Like I said before, he was involved for 3 goals, I believe, of the 5. I thought that he was really strong in the attack, unlucky not to get a goal himself. And defensively, I just thought his positioning was incredible. And to come on and do that performance as a 17-year-old, like, that takes guts. I was super, super impressed with what I saw from him. Cindy says Barkley's a hell of a frustrating player, always gives me a headache. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the passes that he chooses, I'm just like, why? Why is this happening? I just don't think it's worked out for him at Chelsea. Wish him the best, but I think it's time that we both move on. Yeah, it is a shame that Charlie Webster didn't get minutes, and I think that was like my only criticism. Like, I would have given those, like, prefer for him to get those minutes than for Ross Barkley. Why weren't our players celebrating after scoring goals? I mean, it was against Chesterfield in the FA Cup. Like, they're Division 5, I think. Like, they're like in the league below League 2. So I think that's kind of why they weren't celebrating, because, you know, they like, I think I heard on the TV that it was like the biggest difference between league opposition, meaning like Chelsea are in the Premier League and Chesterfield were like in the fifth league. I don't even know what it's called, like below League 2. So I think that's probably why, because it was like, oh, well, we're just here to get our business done. Elizabeth, it was so easy that it was boring. Not a game to judge which player had a good game. Yeah, well, I mean, I get it, but also I do want. I mean, for Lewis Hall as well. I don't know why I want to say Lewis Big or Harvey Vale. Like, I'm confusing all of these like really English names. But for Lewis Hall, I thought he had a brilliant game and was like clearly the standout. So that's why I want to give him a shout out. And not for nothing, like the second half was pretty boring. The first half was not boring at all. The first half I loved, but the second half, it got to a point where I was like, there's still 30 minutes left of this game. Like, for real, there's still 30 minutes left, because I just felt like all the football had been played. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Chris says the best that Lukaku can do now is keep the relationship with the club transactional and hold his end of the bargain with 20 plus goals, and that's it. Yeah, that's kind of where I stand as well. And like I said, I just like, I don't know, I'm very like indifferent to him, and it's like, yeah, we paid so much money for you, so at least score a ton of goals for us. Timothy says, thanks for the show. In the first half, I was starting to feel bad for the away team. Not gonna lie, I know I did too. And maybe Tuchel was like, it's okay, like let's not blow them off the water. I don't know. For in the second half, like we have a lot to focus on, so let's just do that. Conference is the 5th tier of English football. Thank you. Alrighty, guys, I've been talking for almost 20 minutes, so I'm gonna put the link to join in case anybody has any thoughts that they want to come and give. And let me create a banner as well. Scroll gets the bottom, and then it's this. Yeah, I think that's the right one. Yeah, just a reminder, guys, when you come on, please try to keep it to like around 30 seconds a person, no more than that, because then I don't get to give the opportunity to other people because typically I have like quite a few people who are waiting to join the chat. And it's just meant to be kind of like a brief thing of your thoughts. So please be respectful to everybody else and keep it to about 30 seconds or under. Please be respectful to the players, otherwise I will have to take you out or end the stream. Be respectful to me and everybody else in the chat. And yeah, that's basically the rules if you want to join. So with that said, if you want to join, the link is in the comments. The link is scrolling across the page as well. So feel free to hop on, give your thoughts, 30 seconds or less. And yeah, I'll just kind of be waiting here for your call-ins. Robbie asked, do you think the balance of the team was right? I mean, I don't think we can really judge it, because I didn't think we really have many defenders on the pitch, but it doesn't matter because whatever team we were putting out should have beaten Chesterfield. So I'm not trying to analyze this game all too much, if that makes sense. I mean, I was just worried about scoring goals and progressing to the next stage, and I'm glad that we scored 5. I was a little bit annoyed about conceding a goal, but I mean, whatever. What can you do? Hey Ryan, thanks for joining. Yeah, the second half was boring. I was like trying to stay awake because I knew I had this stream afterwards, and I've been actually working all day. Like when I tell you guys, I legit do not take a break because Monday to Friday I work my like full-time job, and then kind of like before I start and after I finish, I do some stuff for football, and then on the weekends I'm always like trying to do things. Like today I was working on a pitch for a company that I'm hoping to work with, and just like trying to make posts and content on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. It's like so many social media channels. Like I'm absolutely exhausted. But I'm more than happy to do that for you guys because I love it. And that's the price that I pay for loving doing this. Okay, we have our first caller in. Hey Sid, welcome to my channel. Thanks for calling in.
Hi, I just want to say that I'm more worried about Pulisic because he's playing out of position for quite some games now, and I think it would be nice to see him on that left wing against Manchester City because he plays often well against them.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't know why he hasn't been playing on the preferred left side. So the only reason I could really think for that was because Callum was playing there, and I thought that Callum's also been quite strong. And maybe Tuchel's looking at it like, well, Pulisic maybe plays better than Callum does on the right hand side, and he can still get a job done there. But I totally agree that Pulisic looks a lot more comfortable on the left hand side, and I really wish to see him in his preferred position. So great comment there. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. Hey Andrew, how's it going?
I'm doing good, Elizabeth. Happy New Year to you. And
Happy New Year.
yeah, well, this was a Christmas gift which I had got,
Oh,
original
nice.
Ziyech. Yeah.
Anybody on the
So,
back?
sorry? No,
Anybody
there's
on the
nothing on the
back?
back.
Okay.
No, that's nothing on the back. So yeah, I'll just quickly give my thoughts about the game. From what I noticed, and this has been a regular theme, like our forwards are not clinical at all. And I'm talking about players like Callum Hudson-Odoi and Hakim Ziyech. They're very indecisive in the final third, and I think we definitely need to look at some reinforcements on those positions because right now I would say the only confident players in the front three is Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic, and I would say even Romelu Lukaku is also quite decisive. But I think the rest of the players in the front three, it's a bit of a problem. They're not confident at all to take shots. So that's and also there are two more positions we need to look at, which are obviously the wing backs, because unless those wing back positions are covered, then we can't have players like Pulisic playing further up the pitch where they can be more decisive. So right now, obviously, the left wing back position is a big concern, and I don't know, for some reason the club doesn't seem to be too keen on getting a player on a permanent deal like Dinia. And another player who's linked with us is Serginho Dest. So I just wanted to ask from your perspective, since you're an American and you probably have watched him play, what do you think about this player, and do you think he can add something, positive for us on the flanks?
I actually have not watched him, but I have
So
a transfer stream coming up on this Thursday, with my friend Rob, and he's kind of like this all-knowing transfer expert. He really has like a lot of information and knowledge, not only about the transfers, about the players and what Chelsea's plan is to get these players to fit in. So I'm going to have that transfer special on Thursday. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But thanks so much for joining. I appreciate it.
thanks for having me on the channel. Yeah.
Alrighty, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
I'm just gonna go through the comments now. The weekly update said I expected more from our senior players to get confidence for big games like Spurs and City. Yeah, I mean, especially Lukaku, because somebody also asked, what did you think of Lukaku today? Like, I really thought that he was going to come out. I was surprised that he was starting. I was also surprised how many senior players were starting, to be honest. Like, I thought we would have seen more youngsters. I already kind of mentioned this at the start of the stream, but in case you're new, in case you're joining, basically what I said about Lukaku is that I expected him to score like 3, 4, 5 goals with the amount of service that he was getting. He got really great service from Timo, from Ziyech, that they really puts the balls on a plate for him. And I felt that he wasn't really even on target with those shots, which was surprising to me. And especially after everything that's happened, he did get his goal, but it was like quite easy, I think. And like I was saying, after everything that's happened, I thought that he would have taken his opportunities more, and I thought that he would have had more chances and more goals. And I think that's probably why he got taken off at halftime. Basically, I have no thoughts on the second half, and you might say, why? Well, because we were already 4 goals up at that point, and it's not like we were, it's not like we were struggling and we needed to get a goal to win the game. It was like we already had well put the game to bed, and we were just rotating players. Obviously, that disturbs like the chemistry on the pitch. That disturbs how you're going forward, how you're defending. You have a bunch of players who have literally never played together before that are kind of just thrown onto the pitch. So I didn't expect anything, and I was like, yeah, this makes sense that we're not playing well. There's nothing to really analyze here. Yeah, I was happy for Werner to score tonight. I mean, no missing from there. It was literally like he could not miss from that area of the pitch. We have another caller, Leslie. I don't know if you have connection. Hello, do you have connection? Hiya. Hello. Okay, I'm really sorry. I have to remove you because the connection is poor and you're just frozen. I'm really sorry, but if you start your Wi-Fi, let me know and I can get you back in. Just put it in the comments if the Wi-Fi is sorted. Ziyech and Pulisic performance, I don't see them as special players. What do you think? Well, I think the thing with these 2 players, especially Ziyech, is that he was very much a Lampard signing, and he really fit the system that Lampard was playing, which was a 4-3-3. In that position, in that system, rather, he was able to occupy more of the right-hand side of the pitch. And, obviously he was always pretty inconsistent. But I think that when he occupies that space, he looks a lot better. The other thing with these 2 players that they both have in common, other than playing out of position, is that they haven't been regulars. So I imagine for a player like a Ziyech or a Pulisic, it's really hard to come into the team and just come in basically out of nowhere and then be expected to put in a 10 out of 10 performance to completely change the game. Like, that must be extremely, extremely difficult to do. I thought that Ziyech has looked better in the past 2 games, especially against Spurs. I thought he was all over the attack. And it's no surprise to me that happens when he's playing in when we were playing in a back 4, which is like his preferred formation, and he was able to get into more space. I think that Ziyech is a player that kind of needs like more time and space on the ball in order to pick out his passes because he can really calibrate them. And the other thing with Ziyech, I have so many thoughts on Ziyech. The other thing with Ziyech is that he picks out these like really nice passes that are like through balls, and I don't know, like the ball that where he hit it to Timo and then Timo kind of tried to chip it and missed, like those sort of things. You also get that by having chemistry with the players, and you don't really get chemistry with the players if you're not playing with them week in, week out, and if you're always changing the players that you're playing with. So I completely understand why they have struggled. On Pulisic's side, he's been playing on the right. I don't understand this. I feel like he looks so much stronger and more comfortable on the left. In Project Restart, I felt that he looked way better. Who did he play? Was it against Liverpool that he scored? Yeah, I think it was against Liverpool. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not known for having the best memory for these things. I just know they scored, but I can never remember which team because there's so many games. But again, he plays on the left. Obviously, he wasn't having like a fantastic game. Again, he hadn't been playing in that position for a long time, but then he scores a fantastic goal from the left-hand side. So I think that these players are kind of like victims of circumstance, that they haven't been able to be playing in their preferred position. And so they haven't been putting in that great performances, and then it's kind of like a wheel that goes round and round. We have another caller in. Riley has called in. Hi, Riley. Thanks for joining.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I love having another girl on the channel. It's super cool.
Yeah, I love your content, so it's really cool talking
Thank
to you.
you. Oh my God, thank you so much.
I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed our performance today because I liked seeing some of the fringe players play, some of the younger players. I mean, we put out a strong team to be fair, but I thought we played like, I don't know, we played different. I don't know if I'm the only one who saw that. I was like, these are a lot of the same people and not a lot of fringe players, but we still played really good, and I'm impressed with Ziyech today again.
Yeah, I agree. I felt that, maybe he didn't have like the best of games, but some of the balls that he was putting in, I did think were pretty good. And like I was kind of saying, I haven't expected so much since he hasn't been playing consistently with the team. But I think he is very unique in that he's like one of the only players in the side that can really like pick out one of those really beautiful passes and make it work. And you never know when he's going to be pulling that out either. But thanks so much for joining. Thanks so much for watching my content. I really, really appreciate it. It's super cool. And hope you have a great night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. I'm just going through the rest of your comments. Carefree says, Timo gets a lot of stake. I feel like a lot of his runs are not found. Yeah, I typically agree. I mean, the thing with Timo, I feel like as well, is that he tends to need like a lot of opportunities to score. And maybe in the Premier League, you're not really given as many opportunities and you have one chance and you need to take that chance, which isn't necessarily how Timo plays. But the club would have known that with how he's played at Leipzig as well. But what I love about Timo is just like his drive and his personality. Like no matter how badly people think that he's been playing, and I never think that he plays like terribly. I think that he puts all of his heart and soul and all of his goodness into the side. He keeps his head down and he keeps trying and he makes those runs. And yeah, a lot of the times they aren't picked out because he's so fast and he kind of can read the game. And I think we saw this especially last year in the Champions League, especially in the final. Like he made these kind of decoy runs to open up space elsewhere on the pitch. And I think that that's something that he does really good that's not noticed as much because he's not scoring goals. But if he were to score goals, I think people will kind of pick up on that a little bit more. Ravi said, what do you think is the best combination of attack up front? I legit have no idea. I could not tell you. If anybody tells you that they know what the best combination for Chelsea is, maybe they think they know, but I doubt it because we have seen like literally every single combination in the book at this point. I have my preference of players that I like starting, but then that even goes and changes every week. So I couldn't tell you. I say Mount is like the only one for me that's like absolutely nailed in. But the others, I like really up for grabs in my opinion. If anybody has any thoughts, I don't know. I just feel like we haven't seen any front three consistently enough to know, like, yes, this is definitely the front three that should be starting, because every game Tuchel is changing this front three. Lewis Hall was fantastic tonight. Do you think he'll feature in any more matches? I mean, after the performance that he's put in, I think he probably will. I would be surprised if he didn't, especially while we're still in, well, the Carabao Cup, we're in the semis. So maybe not against Tottenham, but especially in the Premier League, like, we have so many games coming up. It will really depends as well. I think if Chelsea brings somebody in this window, like a right wing back or left wing back, if we bring anybody in. Otherwise, I could see him, like, I could perfectly see him filling in for Alonso in the Premier League, maybe against like a lower side where you're going to have a bit more possession. But he looked really strong. I don't want to just throw him into the deep end, but I was so impressed with his performance. Like, I would absolutely give him that chance at least. Robbie asks, can Chelsea catch City in the Prem? I don't think so. I hate to say it, guys. It's not me being pessimistic. It's just me trying to be realistic, because I'm not going to come on here and say, hell yeah, we can definitely do it. Like, we're 10 points behind them at this point. City are typically known for kind of like maybe having like a rough, quote unquote, start to the season, but then they go on these like ridiculous unbeaten runs, and they're currently on one now. They just get win after win after win. And they get wins even when they're not playing especially well. They somehow find ways to hold on to a 1-0 win. If it's tied, they find ways to win in the dying minutes of the game. Like, they just have this inevitability about them. And if it were less than a 10-point gap, I would say, yeah, maybe it's possible. But 7-10 points, it's already just too much. And the other thing is that Chelsea just have so many injuries. And like I've been saying kind of every time that I'm talking on my channel, I don't think that the injuries are an excuse. I think that it drastically changes the way that Chelsea play going forward and defending. And we're just not the same team. We don't have as like the same chemistry. We have to change the way that we play, because Marcus Alonso is not the same player as Ben Chilwell. Aspie is not the same player as Reece James. They're not as versatile. They are older. They're not as quickly. These are all things that affect how Chelsea play. So realistically, I think it's just too, even with Ben Chilwell being out, I was like, this is a big enough blow, because Ben is so important and integral to how we play as a team that we could not compete. And I think it's no surprise that Chelsea's dip in form coincided after Ben Chilwell got injured in the 4-0 win against Juventus. And that's when Chelsea started conceding goals. That's when Chelsea started drawing games. And then you add Reece James's injury on top of that, when he's not going to be back for 3 months, like minimum, basically. Like, that's basically the rest of the season. So really, I just feel like we've gotten unlucky, and it's not in the cards for the season, unfortunately. I hope with all of my might that I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel at this point in time. Yeah, Andrew says, imagine if City had Cancelo and Rodri out. Exactly. Like, if you have two of your very main players out of the team, you could slip up, and you probably are going to slip up, but they don't. It'll be interesting to see how Liverpool play with Mane and Salah out for AFCON the next couple of weeks, month or so, because they are so integral to how they play and to their attack. So I'm really keen to see how Liverpool start playing, if they're scoring goals, or if we start to see Liverpool slip. Because while Mendy is out, I don't think it's like, Mendy obviously is so important to Chelsea, and he saves us a lot of points, but I think it's worse for Liverpool having like two of their key attackers out. Freya says, I love your show because you always talk a lot of sense and stick to football. Thank you. I appreciate it. Glad that you enjoyed the show. If you guys enjoy my show, just drop it a like and comment so that other people can find my channel. That is all that I ask. That's all that's how you can like support me as a content creator. If you like my content, it's just following me on socials and liking and commenting on stuff, because it honestly sounds so stupid, and I hate when people are like, oh, like and comment, make sure to turn on bell notifications, but it's true, like it really does help us out so much. Ooh, popcorn gang. What is this? Is this something that is this like an inside joke that I'm missing out on? Like, let me know. But I love it. So yeah. Was I happy when they scored? No, I wasn't. Like, I wasn't happy because I wanted to see Chelsea keep a clean sheet, of course. And I was like, oh, another game that we didn't keep a clean sheet. It feels like they're far and few in between right now. But I mean, I was happy to see like the Chesterfield fans. It must have been like such a nice experience to see their team play against Chelsea, going to Stamford Bridge, having that experience. It's a lot of exposure for them as well. And it's going to be a moment that they never forget, which I think is really, it's sweet. So I'm gonna ask if they can see my Chelsea shirt. I don't have like, I have this one here. I don't have anything else near me. This is my signed shirt from Aspilicueta. It is my prized possession. He's literally like customized it and wrote a little message. It says, to Elizabeth, thank you for your support. Come on, Chelsea. And it's signed by Aspie. And I still don't know where to hang this up. But I will be hanging it up at some point. And yeah. Fuck. All right, it fell, but it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. So yeah, that's my signed shirt. I have to, it's kind of just on the floor now. It's slipped. I had like a space to record, but we're redoing this room. So now it's kind of like a mess and I'm recording in a different spot, but that's okay. I'll put it up at some point. And yeah, guys, a last minute comment. Ravi says, will we be going on Premier League today a lot more? I hope so. I usually go on every like 3-ish weeks. They have me on, especially when there's like a lot of Chelsea headlines. So hopefully you'll see me on there more. Let's see. It also depends kind of like how Chelsea play, but I'm trying to like expand myself from Chelsea as well to be able to talk about like any team. But obviously I have so much knowledge about Chelsea because it's been years and years and years accumulated. This isn't a Christmas jumper. It's not. It's just like a fun jumper. Like it's not Christmas colors or anything. It's just a winter jumper. Like it's just like colorful. That's it. It's just a sweater. Jumper, as you guys say. All right, guys. Been talking for like 40-ish minutes almost. My laptop's about to die, so I'm gonna go eat dinner because I haven't eaten yet and it's 9:30 and I'm exhausted. But I hope that you enjoyed this stream very much. If you did, make sure to drop it a like and subscribe to my channel. I've been like in the 10Ks for literally months and months since like August. So it would be really nice to be able to go to 11K. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I literally got like a really big guest that's going to be coming on my channel in a couple of weeks, and I'm super excited about it. So I can't tell you who yet, but you'll find out. And what's today's date? You'll find out within like a week or two, maybe 2-ish weeks. But yeah, keep your eyes out for that. I've been messaging a lot of people, so hopefully I have like a couple of cool guests for you guys for the rest of the month. If you guys have any journalists or like anybody like famous in the industry, obviously I can get footballers on, but anybody that you want in the industry to come onto my channel, let me know in the comments. Like in the comments of this video, not in the chat. Let me know in the comments of the video or on Twitter who you want me to try to get on, and I could try to make it happen. So let me know about that, because I have some people in mind that I think would be really cool, but I also want to make sure that you want to see the people that I have on as well. So if there's anybody that you're like, oh my God, I would love to hear their thoughts, love for you to interview them, let me know and I'll try to make it happen. So yeah, those are my announcements. Make sure to like and follow. I've also been super active on my other social media, like Instagram. I've been really active. My username is Elizabeth Hellenick. TikTok as well. I don't know how to freaking use that platform, but if you feel bad for me because I don't know how to use it, you can follow me on there. I think the videos I post are quite nice, but they don't get views. So if you want to see kind of short tips, short content videos, I post a lot of like behind the scenes about content creation on there, behind the scenes on going on the Premier League, and just like football analytical videos. Follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, and you guys know me on Twitter already, Ellie_Hellenick. All right, guys, my voice is absolutely gone at this point, so I'm going to end the stream here, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and let me know who you want to see on my channel this month. Bye.